Dear friend, there's something no one really tells you about getting older. Not the doctors, not the news, not even the people who love you most. It's this. At some point, the world stops expecting you to grow. It stops asking what you still dream of and starts asking if you've taken your pills. And slowly, maybe without realizing it, you stop expecting more from yourself too. Maybe your days feel quieter now, more still, more predictable. But here's the truth. Predictable isn't the same as peaceful. Stillness isn't always fulfillment, and aging is not an ending, it's a return to what matters most. You're not just surviving these years, you're being invited into something sacred, slower but richer, quieter but truer, simpler but far more meaningful. This isn't a video about how to live longer, it's a gentle conversation about how to live deeper. We'll walk through 5 quiet but powerful shifts. Small choices that help people not only reach 100, but arrive there with joy, clarity, and purpose. They didn't chase youth, they embraced something better. And now, it's your turn. Let's begin, not by resisting age, but by honoring what only age can truly teach us. Dear friend, have you ever woken up, looked out the window, and quietly asked yourself, is this it? Is this all that's left for me? Maybe your days are quiet, your home is calm, but your heart feels unsettled. You're not alone. After 70, many of us carry the same silent question, what now? Some begin to slowly fade, not because their bodies give out, but because their spirit no longer feels invited to grow. And yet, there are others. At 90, they're still gardening. At 95, they're writing books. At 100, they still wake up with wonder in their eyes. Why? Not because life was easier for them, not because they were luckier, but because they kept one quiet flame alive. They stayed curious. They never stopped asking questions, never stopped learning, never stopped finding life fascinating. Let us tell you about Nola Oakes. At 95, she earned her college degree, sitting next to classmates young enough to be her great-grandchildren. Then she went on to pursue a master's, not for a job, not for applause, but because something inside her still whispered, I'm not done yet. She once said, as long as I'm breathing, I'm learning. And that choice, it kept her alive, spirit first, then body, because she kept choosing growth. Now pause just for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something simply because you wanted to? Not to impress anyone, not to check a box, but just to feel alive again? Here's the truth. When we stop being curious, we start disappearing. But even the smallest acts of discovery can open new doors in the mind and the heart. Science agrees. Reading, listening, asking questions. They don't just sharpen memory, they revive joy. They restore purpose. It's not about going back to school, it's about coming back to life. So today, ask yourself, what have I always wanted to learn, but never gave myself the chance? Maybe it's painting, maybe it's writing your story. Maybe it's just picking up the phone and asking, can you teach me that? Because curiosity doesn't belong to the young, it belongs to the alive. And if you're still curious, write it in the comments. Let yourself say it out loud, I'm still curious, and subscribe so we can keep growing side by side. Dear friend, let's be honest, after 70, movement changes. The body feels stiffer. You don't bounce back like you used to. Maybe your knees ache, maybe your balance isn't what it was, and slowly, without realizing it, we start sitting more, resting more, avoiding the stairs, saying, I'll go tomorrow. It's just not worth the effort today. But here's the quiet truth no one tells you. The moment we stop moving, we start fading, because the body isn't designed to pause. It's designed to flow, to stretch, to breathe, to move. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to move in a way that feels good to you. That reminds your body, I'm still here. I'm still alive. Let me share something with you. There's a woman named Jeanne Calment. She lived to 122. And well into her 100s, she was still riding her bicycle. Not because someone told her to, but because it brought her joy. And in Sardinia, where people regularly live past 100, there are shepherds in their 90s who still walk miles through the hills each day. Not because they're athletes, because movement is woven into their way of life. Not exercise, just living with motion. That's the secret. Not to punish your body, but to honor it. To say, thank you for carrying me this far. Let me take care of you now. Even a short walk, stretching your arms in the morning sun. dancing to your favorite old song. It all counts. Because movement isn't about looking younger, it's about feeling more alive. Every step tells your body, I still have somewhere to go. I still have purpose. And when your body believes that, so does your mind. So today, move, not because you have to, but because you still can. And if something in you knows this is true, write in the comments, I'm still moving. And don't forget to subscribe, not for the algorithm, but so you don't forget who you are. We'll keep walking this journey together, one step at a time, with strength and grace and purpose. Dear friend, let us ask you something gently. When was the last time you felt truly seen, not just greeted, but truly understood, as the person you still are inside? After a certain age, something quiet begins to happen. People start speaking to us differently. They ask about our health, but not about our hopes. They ask about our medications, but not about our memories. And slowly, we begin to disappear. Not from the outside, but from the inside out. That's why this third wisdom matters more than words can say. You must protect your social circle like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it truly does. Loneliness isn't just a passing mood, it's a silent illness. Research shows that chronic isolation can harm your health as much as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It weakens immunity, it clouds the mind, it dims the spirit. But connection heals. And more than that, connection awakens. Let us take you to Okinawa, Japan, where people regularly live past 100. They have a tradition called moai, a lifelong circle of friends who meet regularly to talk, laugh, support, and simply be there. These people don't live long because they avoid stress or follow perfect diets. They live long because they are not alone. And here's something we deeply believe. Wherever there are people, there is possibility. So wherever you are, even if your days feel quiet, even if your family feels far, you still have the power to build connection. Pick up the phone, write a letter, wave to your neighbor, say yes to that coffee invitation. You don't need a dozen friends. You just need one person who sees you and reminds you that your story still matters. So today, reach out. Let someone know you're here. Because that small act might just bring both of you back to life. If this speaks to your heart, write in the comments, I still want to be seen. And subscribe so we can stay connected week after week and remind you, you're not walking this path alone. Because even the longest life feels short if there's no one to share it with. Now that you've heard this, maybe you're wondering, what else can I do each day to feel stronger, clearer, and more alive in my body? Let's talk about that next. It starts with your plate. With every bite, with one powerful shift. Eat like your future depends on it. Dear friend, if you're still here with us, it means something inside you still wants to grow, still wants to live this life, fully, deeply, intentionally. And that brings us to the next wisdom. Eat like your future depends on it, because it does. After 70, the body becomes more sensitive to what you put in it, and just as importantly, to what you don't. But here's what many people still misunderstand. Eating well isn't about restriction, it's about protection. You see, sugar doesn't just spike your blood, it fuels inflammation, now linked to Alzheimer's, arthritis, heart disease, even depression. Your body may be aging, but it still wants to fight for you. You just have to give it the tools. So what are those tools? Antioxidants, found in colorful foods like blueberries, spinach, and carrots. They neutralize oxidative stress, the process that slowly breaks your cells down from the inside out. Healthy fats, from salmon, walnuts, flax seeds, help reduce joint pain, support brain function, and protect your heart. And protein, often forgotten as we age. Without enough of it, we lose muscle, balance, and strength faster than we realize. But here's the good news. You don't have to change everything. You don't need complicated diets. You don't need to be perfect. Just let each meal be a small gift to your future self. A spoon of warm broth, a bite of leafy greens, a quiet cup of herbal tea. All of it whispers, I still believe there's more life to live. Eat slowly, eat gratefully, eat in good company whenever you can. Even a humble meal becomes powerful when it's shared. And if you're eating alone, light a candle, put on music you love, let the moment feel sacred. Because it is. And remember, you're not too old to change how you eat. You're not too late to nourish what's still possible. If this speaks to your heart, leave a comment. I still have plans, and subscribe. So we can walk beside you, meal by meal, choice by choice, because your next chapter is being written one bite at a time. Let's talk about something even deeper, something many people forget to nourish altogether, your reason for waking up each morning. Let's talk about purpose, because even the healthiest life means little without it. Dear friend, you've heard us speak of food, movement, connection, but none of it truly matters if you don't have a reason to wake up in the morning. So today, we want to ask you gently, why do you get out of bed? Who or what gives your days meaning now? After 70, after retirement, after the children have grown, after loved ones have passed or drifted away, so many people quietly wonder, what's left for me? And we understand. Because we've seen it too, people living long lives, but not full ones. Alive in body, but hollow in spirit. That's why this final wisdom may be the most important of all. Find your purpose, no matter how small, how quiet, how personal. Purpose doesn't have to be big. You don't have to build a business or change the world. Sometimes purpose is watering your plants, writing a letter to your grandchild, smiling at the mailman and saying, "Bless your day." Sometimes it's choosing to heal, to forgive, to soften after years of holding everything in. And this isn't just emotional fluff. Science confirms it. A study by the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center found that older adults with a strong sense of purpose were less likely to suffer cognitive decline. Why? Because when your soul has a why, your body finds a how. Purpose strengthens immunity, lowers stress, and adds years to your life. Let us tell you about Grandma Moses. She didn't start painting until her late 70s. Her hands were tired, but her heart whispered, "There's still something I want to say." And she kept painting into her 90s. Not because she chased success, but because she followed purpose. So now we turn the question to you. What would you regret not doing if today were your last full day on Earth? Whatever answer rises, that's where your purpose lives. A story to tell, a gift to offer, a quiet strength someone else needs to feel. If this speaks to you, write in the comments, "I still have something to give." And subscribe, not just for more videos, but so we can remind you week after week that your presence still matters, that your days still hold power, that you're not walking this road alone. You're not just adding more years to your life, you're stepping into a season of living more deeply, more truthfully, and more meaningfully. Growing older is not the end of your story. It's a new chapter, where you no longer live out of obligation, but out of what truly matters to you. Those who lived to 100 didn't get there by chance. They repeated 5 quiet but powerful choices: staying curious, moving with joy, connecting to avoid loneliness, eating with the future in mind, and living with a clear sense of purpose. We're not here to give you rules. We're here to walk beside you on this quiet, powerful journey of living fully, one day at a time. If something in this video touched your heart, leave a comment. I'm still here, and I still have something to give. Subscribe to our channel, not because you need more content, but because you deserve gentle reminders that you still matter, that your light is needed, that your time is still full of meaning. Let's keep going, together, one small, beautiful step at a time.